Watch till
Recently, the governor
end.
of Arizona came out and said that the economy in Arizona would collapse if it didn't have the availability of quote unquote slave labor within its prison system. So I came across this article that speaks on the Arizona Work Program. Now, there's a couple things I want to say about this before I move forward. One, in a country that says that you are free unless you commit a crime, in a country that locked up newly freed slaves because they didn't have a job, in a country that created Jim Crow laws, in a country that created the war on drugs that disproportionately affected black and brown communities that we know our government had a part in a country that also created the school to prison pipeline, I would say that the governor of a state coming out and saying that they are heavily dependent on the exploited labor of its inmates by only paying them maybe 10 cents a day and leasing that labor out to companies, I would say is modernized slavery, as this article states. If you're a really lucky prisoner, you get to be one of the 1,000 prisoners sent out by the state of Arizona Department of Corrections to work for agencies and municipalities and earn maybe 50 cents up to $1.50 per hour. What trips me out the most about this is how companies are benefiting from this. Companies get a consistent supply of cheap labor and avoid having to pay benefits, insurance, and taxes. Municipalities can maintain and clean government grounds and divert their savings to other services. So you see how that comes full circle? We have a government and a police agency that is disproportionately affecting black and brown communities, imprisoning them, and then under the guise of rehabilitation is leasing them out to companies that would typically have to employ you or I, but instead they're using exploited prison labor in order to serve you some of those same things. You want to see some of the companies that use prison labor? So as you can see here, there's lots of companies. This is a small list. I just wanted to give you a general overview. Starbucks is actually one of the top companies that uses this program within Arizona. And I just want to be clear that this is an economic barrier. Because if you're rich, unless you unalive someone, you're not going to go to one of these prisons, okay? Financial crimes, white-collar crimes, you go to a federal prison. This right here is for the low economic class, and that's why you're able to treat them this way, and that's why you're able to use their labor in order to enrich a state. America is sick.